Hey guys, welcome to Star Trek Beyond spoiler trailer review. And this is Thunder E from Booredatwork. Thank you for joining us. And also with me is Mr. Lou Rod. How's it going, Lou?
I'm doing well, but are we doing a trailer or a movie?
Movie. I said trailer, sorry. It's like it's trailers in the mind, man. Movie review. Damn it. Yeah, so we've both seen Star Trek Beyond, and I actually want to pull up the synopsis here for you guys, so you get will get the synopsis review statement of the movie, and then we'll do, of course, our review. But before that, you've seen the movie, right?
Yes, sir.
Just check in, and
You literally got back 30 minutes ago.
Okay, so the movie is the synopsis says the USS Enterprise crew explores the furthest reaches of uncharted space, where they encounter a new ruthless enemy who puts them and everything the Federation stands for to the test. That sounds like every Star Trek movie, of course, but I have to say this is the non-spoiler part because it's going to be really short. I enjoyed the movie. How about you, Lou?
Same here. I've liked all three of them so far. I enjoyed, the two Abrams and this one. It was entertaining. A little dark, even being in a movie theater.
I think as a setting, I really enjoyed this one. This is my best out of all three, which is actually, I thought the first one was really good. The second one could have been a great movie. I think J.J. Abrams tried to do something that he just couldn't do with this. And this third movie, the reason why I enjoyed this is because this is the first movie they used all the characters. You know what I mean? Like it felt like
fleshed them out.
Yeah, it felt like everybody had a use case. Everyone, because in the other ones it's always Spock and Kirk, right?
Kirk.
Yeah, but this time Sulu was probably the one that had the least amount of use per se, compared to even like the second movie. Chekhov has now taken over Captain Kirk's position as being, quote unquote, the man whore in the series.
But poor guy.
Yeah, which is sad to see. But I think they actually paid a homage to him in a way in the movie.
During the credits?
No, at the very beginning. I think they reshot just a part of the scene. Remember when it was Kirk's birthday and he went to Chekhov's locker to get the drink, and then they did that toast quickly for friends who are gone. To me, that kind of just, because remember they got it from Chekhov, and they did the toast. I think they reshot that scene in the sense that it was he brought the drink himself, didn't say it was from Chekhov, and they still had the same toast. But I think just the fact that they changed at the beginning and said when he went to Chekhov's locker and he took that from Chekhov to give him the good stuff, and then they put the third glass there, say, a toast to all lost friends. To me, that made sense because at that point in time in the series, no one has been lost in the crew. So why are they saying lost friends? It's not like he was toasting with Spock to say the death of Spock. Remember, that only happened. Kirk only found out about that at the end of the movie.
Yeah, but also they're toasting to his dad.
Yeah, he said his dad and lost friends. That's why I said that it just felt like to me, when I was watching it, it felt like the toast to his dad was always there, and even that line of lost friends. But I think personally, I don't know. I think they reshot just the beginning where he said, "I went to Chekhov to get this drink," which will imply almost that's also like a toast to him. It's a very subtle thing you can do without actually making it seem, like heavy-handed in there. But like I said, I liked the way each character was used all around.
But you know what? Now we get to the spoiler part, but there's a trend.
Which is?
In the third Star Trek movie, the Enterprise blew up. In this Enterprise movie, the Enterprise got destroyed.
Yeah, I mean, but technically, the Enterprise got destroyed in the second one, okay?
No. It got destroyed in the second one, but it was still intact.
Okay,
This
okay.
one dude. It lost the warp engines.
It was toast,
It
man. For that
got
long, this ship was completely toast. There's nothing left. I mean, the salsa was remaining. Even that too, they wrecked that one altogether.
yeah. They wrecked that one trying to kill the girl.
So I mean, okay, I'll put it this way. In terms, let's kind of break it down per character, right? You got Kirk, I feel like he really has come to his own in this movie. You know, he's not necessarily the old Captain Kirk that we know. He's just kind of his own guy. You know, like he's still very Kirky, but he's not the same type of Kirk. I think Spock. I mean, there's only one way to play Spock, and that's cold. So you got to play it right. I think he is, but I think my favorite character in this series, at least for this movie, was Bones.
Yeah,
Bones.
Bones is funny.
Yeah, but I mean, Bones has always been. It was funny in the original TV show, but he's really taken it to his own level of just funny. You know, like making it very sarcastic. Even what's the name? Horror. I mean, I like the fact that they made Horror not. You know, they continue the fact that she's a very strong female character, and just because she's dating Spock, don't mean crap. You know, especially
I like Bones' reaction to, you put a tracking device on her neck?
Now you put it that way, that was not the intention.
And then when they're at the party at the end of the movie, they're like,
and she's like this. She goes, and he just turned to look. He turned away. I was like, I mean, I have to say though, overall, the movie was very entertaining. Like,
it was different.
It was. I like the fact that it was grounded. That's why when people ask me, I say it feels like the old TV show, because the old TV show, they will go in space. They will have a space battle, but everything happens on the ground. You know what I mean? Like all the adventures on that planet or that city or whatever the place is. So I like the fact that it was, it was kind of like that kind of grounded. It was like, yeah, we all doing all this crazy space stuff, but here, right here, this is where it is. And he helps for like not making something just too much as a CGI fest. And also shows that the reason why the Enterprise is great, it's not necessarily the Enterprise itself, it's the crew. They are smart thinkers. Everybody knows how to be resourceful, that kind of thing. So that's why I really enjoyed this movie more than the other ones in the franchise. How about you?
It was good. I like the take of Justin Lin. He gave us a different take on this movie.
I definitely agree.
The camera felt more focused. It didn't feel out of whack.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Justin Lin.
I mean, it just, everything fit. With the exception of Idris Elba. I didn't like his alien form.
Yeah, because he was not truly in alien form, though. Because you know what happened, though? The alien, think about it, right? Spoiler, Idris Elba is the villain. He's also a spoiler. Human.
This is a spoiler movie review.
Yeah. He's a human. And also his two cohorts, the chick and the other guy, are both human. Those were the last two crew members that they had left. The reason why his alien form didn't have that very pure Star Trek alien form is that and it made sense. He's been sucking life forms from everywhere.
But how was he sucking life forms?
They didn't. I'm kind of glad they didn't explain, because you don't want that to enter into the main universe in the sense. Remember when you saw his video log and he said they found a way to prolong life, and he's like, I'm gonna make it work, and that's just all it is. Remember that alien planet had a bunch of drones that he mastered, used, and he also got alien life form. He got they all got eternal life. That was it. Because he said, and that's why at first I was like, wait, so okay, I get it that he survived. How did he get those two other people to work with him? And then you remember in the video, he goes, just him left and two of his other crew members.
I don't know. It was.
They necessarily didn't explain that, but I think it's fine.
Some things are better off not explained.
Right, yeah. What's up, guys? Haven't seen the movie yet. It's all good. Spoilers don't really spoil it for me. Okay. All right, cool.
Dude, What's up with Homeboy? He's in Star Wars. Now he's in Star Trek. Like, he's all over the place.
Who?
Grunberg, whatever the hell his name is.
Oh, you mean Matt from
The Heroes guy.
Heroes? Yeah. I mean, look, he's working, man. That's all that matters. That's all that matters.
But it's funny how he's in Star Wars and Star Trek.
And he's doing almost the same.
We had Simon Pegg in both too.
Yeah, and he's doing almost the same role. Remember, fine. He was shooting in Star Wars as a fighter pilot.
He was a fighter pilot in Star Wars. This one, he's the commander of a.
I will say though, I like the York Station. So this premise of the movies, the Enterprise team is out 5 years in their mission.
They were year 3.
Year 3 of a 5-year mission, and you can tell that Kirk is just getting tired of it. It's very mundane. And even to a certain degree, Spock is, or for other reasons. He feels like he might want to go back to Vulcan and help out because there are very few Vulcans out there. Because it looks like Vulcans don't have lots of sex and have kids. They need to change that logic somehow. At least now every Vulcan should have at least 10 kids just to repopulate the species. Just saying, I'm throwing it out there. Because they all live long, right? I mean, you can have. I mean, if Vulcans. Spock's dad lived up to 900, right? So he can have a bunch of kids. Maybe he just is like after year 100 is like, I don't want to have kids. I want to just enjoy my life. Tired of these little critters, So who knows? But so they eventually have a break. They have to go to the Yorktown station, which is the furthermost station in the Star Trek universe at this point. And
that, to me, that space station felt Gundam-like.
Yeah, it did. I did like the station because typical Star Trek stations are a floating station, metal station in space. This was a biosphere city.
Fucking had me dizzy for a second.
Yeah, but that's the only way you can make that kind of city in there, where you create a center of gravity by using different central points, and so you can actually spin through in and out. It was weird a little bit, but I can see how there is, because think about it, right? If you're going to make a space station like that in space, you might as well make it a living city. It will cost
all that was cool.
It will cost you a lot of money. You might as well just go out.
Let's be real. It's like these movies money ain't no object to them.
No. I'm saying for the Federation, for the Federation, it makes sense to have people living there and buy and all that stuff.
Look at it from this perspective. The Federation, money ain't no object. They the new Enterprise like nothing.
There is no currency in the Federation. They don't use money.
And then the Empire, they had their own bank. They're building ships left and right. So it's like they have endless amounts of cash.
I mean, yeah,
sure. We could go into outer space with our nice spaceship and go build the lovely globe of human population.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things I liked was I liked the villain, because I liked the villain. I at least started liking the villain at the end when he changed, when you found that he had lost his humanity, not just physically, but also mentally. He had lost his purpose. The fact that he thought unity was weakness. And he lived for 100 years, right, or more, like over 100 years. The bad guy, Crawl. He had lived.
It had to be 100 years because that ship was on that planet for 100 years.
Yeah, so at least over 100 years. He was already in his 30s, late 30s when he was captain. So he's 130, 140. So this dude had lost his humanity, and it was good. It was good to see that because the thing about Star Trek is at the end of the day, the villain is all about the social narrative. That's what Star Trek has always been about. It has nothing to do with massive empires and stuff like that. It's all about how do you deal with social narratives. And this one was all about unity. The whole theme of this movie is we all have to be together. Doesn't matter where you're from. So I think that made a lot of sense with this movie verse. And it's something that I think kind of brings it back to where Star Trek really is. It's not your run and gun franchise. You think about it, the Enterprise has 2 weapons. That's it. Phasers and photon torpedoes. They have nothing else.
Yep, that's all they got. They ain't got much of anything else.
And then, and sometimes they may reconfigure the deflector array to do some stuff. but that's basically counteracting other person's weapon. That's it. They have nothing else. Those ships were badass. Those bee-like ships. Woo! I mean, if you couldn't fire missiles at them, you couldn't shoot at them with phasers. I mean, the only thing you had to do was run.
Yeah, that enemy ship was like awesome.
Yeah, there was still all small ships, behave like bees, and they just kind of like.
But see, they were all in sync because they used, I guess, crawl is mine.
Yeah, because it's. Remember, he was the only person that flew the ship when he went to go attack Yorktown. It was just him because literally there were only 3 of them. That's awesome. You have so basically to describe the enemy ships, they're smaller ships that when they all come together. Remember Guardians of the Galaxy? What?
It reminded me of the ship that attacked in Expanse.
More like the supermassive version of that. They did a fantastic job with that. And also the music. When you watch the movie, all the music you saw in the trailer we didn't like, you get some
makes sense.
So much sense. So much. So I kind of see why now this is what happened. When they dropped that first trailer, they dropped it like, oh, this would be great, because they were thinking of the movie. And they were not thinking of it as how we look at trailers. So I understand. So I won't fault them for that first trailer now anymore.
Yeah,
because when
Beastie Boys don't make a good first trailer music.
Yeah, that's
but
just
they made perfect sense for the scenario where that was needed in the movie.
Yeah, especially with the first track that she was playing.
Yeah, Public Enemy, fight the power.
Fight the power, the first one. But it made sense too for her position. Like, and the cool thing about it is she's playing Fight the Power. She doesn't understand not that she doesn't understand Fight the Power, but she doesn't understand the consequence of what that music is or was at the time. But she's somebody who's trying to fight the power at this point. So it was kind of that like weird oxymoron that she's like, I just like it. It's almost like subconsciously you're drawn to what you want, so to speak. And the fact that when they're flying around, Bones is like, wow, they're playing classical music. They consider Beastie Boys and Public Enemy classical music in the year 22nd century or whatever. So that was interesting. That was really interesting to see. But any final thoughts before we round up?
No, I mean, it was fun, entertaining. Even the USS Franklin had a purpose.
Yeah, they did. Everything was well done. I have to give Simon Pegg props. So he wrote the script and he wrote a true Star Trek script. And you know what? Star Trek does not have to be the big giant blockbuster. It just has to give me good, solid movies, man. Like I will watch it any day.
It felt like a good hour and 50-minute episode.
Yeah, even though it was a 2-hour movie.
Okay, it's 2 hours and 2 minutes, but damn well the running time was 150 with 12 minutes of credit.
True. Yeah, no, it felt like, you're right. It felt like a very good Star Trek episode.
What I really did enjoy is when Spock was looking through Ambassador Spock's belongings and you see the old crew of the Enterprise.
Yes, that was cool. I'll put it this way. The homages they paid to all the characters and old, new people who passed away. Like I said, I consider that was an homage to
Chekhov.
It
could have been.
There's also the homage to Spock himself, Leonard Nimoy, who passed away. And there was the homage to the original crew, just the crew itself, and the mix of people you had there. So it was nice. It was nice to see that. It was nice to see that the movie universe understands its roots.
Yeah, it was. Like I said, Justin Lin did a really good job with this movie.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen Star Trek Beyond, definitely go see it. If you're not a Star Trek fan, you still actually like this movie. The movie it's fun. Like it's like anything what Star Trek should be. It's a space adventure. You should go find things, and sometimes you get stuck and sometimes you don't. And sometimes you call it Montgomery Scotty or whatever the case may be.
I enjoyed her character too.
Yeah, that's the thing. Everything was good. I wouldn't say this movie is great. This movie is very good. It's just it's the kind of movie that was needed. I'll put it this way, right? This is what I have not watched Ghostbusters. I will not do a review because I just don't feel like watching it. But
you guys went last week.
I was going to, and then I had some other things that happened, and then we just did it. But from all indications from reviews, even the ones who said who were good and some of the bad, Ghostbusters should have been Star Trek. I haven't watched Ghostbusters, but I'm taking from what people have said. It seems like these guys in Star Trek captured the essence of Star Trek while making their own movie, and it looks like Ghostbusters just couldn't really capture that essence, and that's the thing.
To me,
And
honestly,
that's what you want. Yeah.
It feels like you don't have to watch the other two to enjoy this movie.
Exactly. That's the thing. Yeah, you don't have to and watch part 1 and 2, and they introduce you into the characters each time in the sense that the first time you see them on scene, you go, that's their behavior. That's who they are. You know, whether it's now Chekhov, like I said, is now the hornball. You know, the first time we saw him in this movie, he was getting kicked out of some girl's room, some pink girl's room. Oh, the green girl, some green girl's room. And then in the movie, he's chasing some pink girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's that kind of thing, you know.
And then when Kirk hid the little object inside the woman with the hands on her head.
Yeah.
I mean, it was, like I said, you don't really have to go see Star Trek or Into Darkness to enjoy this one.
Yeah. No, you don't have to see any of the other one. Yeah, sure. Let's see. Mike Texas, I really like the first two. I'm glad they are on number 3 and still going on. Yeah, Star Trek 4 has been greenlit, so that's going to happen. And then Reverend Olson says, I watched Star Trek back in 1973. It was awesome back in the day when you only had 5 TV channels. That to me was high def. That's so funny. Yeah, I mean, it's true though, but it's fun. Like, it was always fun to see the new world, and I hope they do this. Now we know that Chris Hemsworth is coming back as his father in part 4, and he's co-starring. So that
we already see. That's the thing. He died.
So let me tell you what I guess the storyline is going to be. I think the crux of the story is at the end of the day, he has to send his father back to correct the timeline. That's what's going to happen. He has to, because you can see he's still dealing with some of his daddy issues, and when he meets his father finally, he has to send his father, because when he sees his father, he will be older than his dad.
But he can't see his father.
No, there's gonna be something. Remember Star Trek? There's gonna be a time jump somewhere, or somebody causes something where everything is changed. So when he meets his father, he will be a captain with more experience than his father, and he has to think about it. You have to. It's that weird conundrum where you have, even now, when you have to teach your parents something, right? Especially something that they know.
Here's where they're going with Star Trek 4. Instead of going to save whales, the father has to go back in time to fix the timeline in order to keep it where it's going.
Yes,
that's the only way to make sense.
Something in that direction, but I think to save everything, at the end of the day, Kirk will have to send his father back to the exact point where he dies.
Yeah, where Eric Banner comes in with that monstrosity of a ship.
Yeah, exactly. So he will have
havoc.
He will have to literally and almost watch it, because it's probably one of those things where you could, as his ship is going away, you can see everything happening, and just the pain of knowing that, yeah, this is what I've always wanted, but I can't have it, because if not, I'm just messing up the whole universe. Not just the world or my house, the whole universe. So yeah. So I think that's where that movie's going to go. It'll be interesting to see. I think what it is, though, I would like to see how to me, the movie is going to work most on how you watch both of them pair together. Because Chris Pine knows how to be his own person now, right? And we all know how Chris Hemsworth did. If he comes off a little strong, you're going to have them butting heads. Now, Spock will have to be the man of reason, and Bones, well, of course, would just be jibber-jabbering at the back. So it would be cool to see how that actually pairs out. I think that's what it is. And the villain, of course, is the one who's going to cause the time rift or whatever the case may be. So, that's how it is.
Eric Banner coming back with his monstrosity of a ship.
No, this is going to take a cut from that scene. That's it. He's going to know his dad, but his dad won't know. and he's going to teach his dad some things, and that's how his dad makes his name for himself. Maybe who knows? That could be it.
His daddy's still gonna die.
Yeah. His dad. You're right. His dad may never know his name, know who he is. That would be interesting if he just never like tells him who he's. It's just like, you know, his full name. Just Kirk. That's it. It'd be cool. All right, that's it, guys. Well, thank you very much. We will be doing our Comic-Con Day 1 and 2 roundup at around 8 or 8:30 p.m. tonight. So a lot of news that came out yesterday at Comic-Con and also today. Still some news coming out. Tomorrow is going to be crazy Comic-Con. So there will be, if there are any trailers that are out, there will be trailer reactions. If there's any news, there will be news reactions to anything really major. If not, we will wrap up Saturday like at midnight or something, you know, later on in the day for Comic-Con in San Diego. But so far, the news of Comic-Con has been cool. It's been great.
Yes, for all those Walking Dead fans, the new trailer doesn't give away nothing, but we get a first glimpse of Shiva. And the only character I don't like is the guy who's looks like George Clinton in the comics. The person they got to play him, I'm not feeling. He's too young.
Oh, well, we'll see. Well, I haven't.
They had to see, as a comic book reader, you had to get an older man in his 50s. And this guy looks like he's in his 30s with dreadlocks and gray hair.
I see.
But the CGI tiger looked good.
Okay. All right. Definitely check it out. So anyway, guys, join us 8:30. I hope you enjoyed this lengthy review. And well, it's not as long as BVS reviews. This is always long. We could do another BVS video now. It would be like another hour.
Mike Tech enjoyed Stranger Things.
Yes, thank you. Oh, you did, man. That's good. Just finished Stranger, really good. Yeah, dude, I've told you, you need to watch that show. You need to watch it.
Man, you know, I was gonna start it, but then I started watching Sons of Anarchy.
You can stop Sons of Anarchy, you know that.
It just calls me back.
Yes. Trust me. Watch one episode of Stranger Things. That's all you need. That will bring you in. It will reel you in. Like, it's like this. You just get in, and before you know it, you'll be like, oh my God. So anyway, cool. I'm glad you liked it, iMac Tech. All right, guys, thank you very much. Again, 8:30, Comic-Con Day 1 and 2 wrap up. And maybe should we do later? I don't know. Are there any late panels?
8:30 is 5:30 there. So, I mean, it's up to you if you want to go around
9. Let's do it 9 o'clock.
No, there's still panels going.
Shoot, 10 then.
10 is the last panel. They close by 7, so that's 10 o'clock 10. Our time would be...
Yeah, last panel, yeah. Ending. All right, so 7. So 10.
But I don't know. I think the late panels aren't really interesting.
See, we are remaking schedules right here online. Let's see. What do we have for panels? Maybe that's
I'm not sure.
I don't think so. You know what? 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock is good. Sorry,
yeah,
guys.
I think 9 o'clock would be just fine.
9 o'clock. Apologize. Thank you, and enjoy.
Until 9.